Todd. I'm the Flat Rate Master, and today we're talking about, well, QC is probably one of the most overlooked things in most of our industry. I'm calling out shop owners and technicians on this one. Getting a car back in because another tech's out sick and you realize he didn't QC the car at all. By that is the oil leak he repaired was still leaking. By the coolant leak that was still prevalent that he was supposed to have fixed. QC needs to be done by everybody in the shop. Now, a lot of shops are adding QC techs. Some will call them porters. Others will call them QC techs. They may even have a dedicated bay, which I think is great. I don't have a problem with someone else looking over my repairs to verify that the car is fixed. Now, primarily for me, if it doesn't pass my testing when I'm finished, it's not quality controlled. So it doesn't leave. But like oil leaks, putting a good couple miles on a car is something that every tech should do no matter what. Even if there is a quality control tech, you should drive the car before and after the repair. If there's an oil leak repair, verify the oil leak is fixed. I have seen it way too many times where a technician will do an oil leak on a repair, immediately put oil in it, crank it up, make sure it has oil pressure, back it out, park, within 30 seconds, they're back in the building grabbing their next car. That's not quality control. One, a car needs to go through at least a heat cycle. Crank it up, let it run on the lift is always what I do when I do an oil leak. When I do an oil leak repair, the vehicle, after sitting with the RTV seal or, whatever, I crank the car up, put it up in the air, do a final cleanup, making sure there's no oil anywhere and watching for oil leaks. Then I will go test drive it, bring it back in. If it's an under vehicle leak, obviously I'm going to put it back up in the air, verify no oil leaks. And if it's a BMW, and then I'm going to put all the shielding stuff back on. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a tech do an oil pan on a BMW, immediately put all the diapers back on and go test drive it. Now, sometimes you have to put some of them back on because flapping, you don't want to have those panels get ripped off because they're flapping in the breeze. But I've seen them put 100% of them back on, back it out, go test drive it, and then park it. No, every car needs to be quality controlled. I know this is ranty, but the fact is that returning a vehicle not fully repaired is not doing anybody any good. You're going to have a comeback. Somebody's going to be upset, rightly so. And I do applaud those shops that are adding QC techs. QC techs are really good for overall shop health because the fact of the matter is everybody can miss something. We're all human. You clean up a spot, you go, oh, it was just, residual, go drive it. Still a little residual left there, spray it again. You don't see any more oil coming out, so you park it. It happens. Sometimes when we're closely associated with the repair, blind eyes kind of thing, and another set of eyes is always a good thing for verifying the customer's car is fixed properly. A huge pet peeve of mine, and I will tell this story. Technician, did a serious cooling system repair, topped it off with a funnel, backed it out, parked it. I made him go test drive it. It was an extremely short test drive. That car got towed back in. Overheating. Even when I vacuum fill a vehicle, it still gets warmed up in the bay or in the parking lot, verified it's not overheating, and then test driven. Why? Because it's a cooling system repair. Never know when you're going to have a vacuum pocket that just is there. I've had vacuum filled cars overheat on me. I have. Shut it off, get it back to the shop, pop the cap, sucked a bunch more in, topped it off, retest drove it, done, fixed. But if that had been the customer picking that car up and having it overheat within 5 minutes of driving, usually in rush hour traffic in Atlanta, that would have been bad. I know this is a preachy video, but getting somebody else's comeback will result in this kind of video. So make sure you verify the vehicle is fixed, whether it's the check engine light, whether it's an oil leak, a coolant leak, heck, even if it's an oil change, make sure the drain plug's tight and the oil filter's on there right. So I hope you found this video interesting at least. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.